Good to see you, man. It's been a while.
Blessed, doing grateful, bro. How are you?
Sensei, Sensei Chris Otokito. Yeah, the legend, the myth.
How's yours?
Welcome to the fifth episode of the Masters Corner. It's great. It's great to see you and to have you here today. I know you're stuck for time as you usually are. Very busy guy.
Mhm.
So it's an honor to have you on here. Truly. So then, the reason why I've asked you to come on here is because of your. Well, we go back a long way. I mean, how long have I known you? When did we meet? Was it like 2003, 2004, something like?
It was definitely that time is around uni time. So
That? We were
definitely,
kids.
we
Yeah,
still
we were
are. We
kids.
still are. We're still learning.
Well, this is it. This is it. This is it. Okay. We were younger.
Mhm.
um. So yeah. So thing is, I met you in the gym in a notorious bodybuilding gym, but you've transitioned into martial arts
Right.
to a very high level. So just a bit of if you don't mind, background from transitioning from bodybuilding style training into martial arts. So yeah, how long was that transition, and what was that like for you?
Um, how long was the transition? I would just say that I started martial arts 2000 and started I would say after 2018, if I'm not mistaken.
Right.
Um, Around the time that my daughter was born. Sorry, 2014. That's right. So my daughter was born in 2014, and about 2018, yeah, I wanted my children to start getting into it. And I'm not a sideline dad. Similar to yourself, we get active.
Yeah.
So I started, yeah, just to encourage my children to do it. I started joining in with the martial arts. At the time, I think it was more, if you want to call it, Muay Thai, MMA. Just a few clubs here and there. Flaxman Gym, training with like Team Red Dragon, and then in our side we had Lions Pride with Jimmy Manoir, who was part of FX as well.
Yep.
And then yeah, up until those guys closed down, then started to find other local martial arts and jiu-jitsu clubs. So yeah, since probably 2018, I'd say, and then during lockdown when everything was shut down, I started coaching my children. I had to learn more techniques to coach my own children. And then following lockdown, that's when I started coaching myself.
Excellent. It's been a long time. It's been a very long time.
It's been fun. And then obviously following the likes of yourself when it was FX days, learning from yourself, seeing you guys as inspirations in the gym. You guys were ripped as ever. And I think that was a priority at the time. So you guys, yeah, you set a standard high.
So what? This is the question that I'm very curious for. Did any of that training, because bodybuilding was your first, or to my knowledge, serious type of training before you transitioned into martial arts. So did any of that help the martial arts in any way? Is there anything about the bodybuilding that helped transition, or was it totally different?
What I think did help, because I was also playing football at the time, I was more of an avid footballer.
Right.
And to be fair, throughout from the age of 15, if I remember correctly, I was doing weights. I was pushing weights in my parents' back garden at the time. And then Flaxman Gym after we finished secondary school. So I was pushing weights for quite a while. However, I've always been into something sporty. So even when we
Yeah.
were pushing in FX together, I was also playing football at least 3 times a week, Sunday league and then two power leagues during the week. On direct answer to your question, I think it did help in regards to the discipline and commitment side. In order to
Right.
get us shredded, you know what it takes, the commitment, the sacrifice, the discipline, the focus, even the nutritional commitment, like your diet at the time, if we were doing that whatever protein shake, whatever it was that you were doing,
Yeah.
is the same discipline. If you want to progress in any sport or anything in life, you have to have that level of sacrifice for it and commitment. So I think transitioning that focus that I had in the gym and in training and in getting ripped, I literally transferred that same. It's a relationship. I'll say it's a relationship. Because
Right.
a lot of partners will probably question, oh, how come you're spending so much time in the gym, kind of thing. And depending on the partner, depending on the partner you have, they're either
Yeah.
understanding of that and they
Yeah.
see the results, or it's going to be a blocker in a relationship. So that relationship with the gym or with that training is very similar.
In terms of martial arts to the level that you're coaching and competing at, um, I mean, for the viewers that don't know, um, you a brown belt? Are you a jiu-jitsu brown belt? BJJ?
It's funny. There's somebody asked this yesterday, or they were mocking me yesterday. They were saying I'm a what do you call it? A sandbagging brown belt. Um, so I'm officially a brown belt. Yeah, officially a brown belt. And yeah, it's not a bad level, but I'm very blessed and grateful to train with a lot of like the high level black belts, high level pros, or people of all levels. There's right now in
Yeah.
jiu-jitsu, even you actually get blue belts who are very technical, especially the kids that are coming up nowadays. There's blue belts that I roll with, that I really have to really watch myself. But yeah, brown belt is where I am at the moment.
And that's the big things. That's officially, but
Mm.
I think I saw you have a competition against a black belt, and you beat the black belt, right?
Um, yeah. In fact, that was the second in 2 weeks. Within a space of 2 weeks, was it 2 weeks or 2 months? In the space of a month, I competed against two different black belts in two different competitions and won. Um, and the most recent one that you're talking about, I think, was Polaris, which I guess is like the Premier League of Jiu-Jitsu, I guess.
Right.
Um, and yeah, this guy he was good. From what I understand, he's a decent black belt. Um, 15, he had 15 years. I didn't know this at the time, but I was told afterwards that he had 15 years experience on me as well,
Mm.
which isn't a bad thing. And the guy wasn't easy. It wasn't an easy match. I wasn't able to. I was quite frustrated, if I'm going to be honest. I wasn't able to execute my entire game plan because he did something which I completely didn't. He actually froze up in the battle
Right.
or in the match, and he just sort of what you call it, he stalled and like just was defended.
Yeah.
No discredit to him, but he just played it safe. And I was expecting the gym he's from, 10th Planet, is quite a notorious gym. Like they go wild,
Yeah.
so I was expecting everything under the sun from him, and he did the opposite. So yeah, but that was my
He must
pro
have his
debut.
reason. He must have his reasons for that. He must have thought, you know what? He probably thought, you know what? Let me just play it safe here.
Yeah,
Something must have happened.
yeah, yeah. You
Um,
can watch a match. You can find it on YouTube if you want. So it's on there.
yeah, I'll be glad to watch that.
Mm.
So, what challenges do you find being in your 40s in terms of the training compared to when you were younger? Whether that's lifting and or in your jujitsu, what sort of what challenges physically would you
Mm.
say are more noticeable for you?
I'll be completely transparent right now. So I've just turned 43 in December. And my training consists of every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, I do a CrossFit training session at 5 a.m. Now I'm
Right.
doing it with my son. So we do like a 90-minute, and we do like CrossFit stuff and strength-based training.
Mhm.
That's Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. And every Monday I'm training at Top Team in the evening, GB Top Team, which is Stomping Ground. Uh, Tuesdays today, I should actually be at one of the other like elite gyms doing some like comp training. Wednesday, I'll be at Top Team again. Thursday, coaching. Friday, I should be another training session, and then Saturday mornings, another like quite high profile gym, and then Sunday, I've just recently started Muay Thai again. So I'm technically training every day, and one of the things that I'm finding the challenge of is recovery.
Right. Yeah.
Um,
Right.
and it's not a sense of injury wise. I've always healed quite very quickly from injury, but I've never done any form of, and I'm finding a lot of people, including the youth now, are on a lot of the sort of TRT. Is it TRT? Is that the right word for it? Testosterone
Testosterone
replacement
replacement
therapy.
therapy.
I'm not discrediting it, not saying no judgment on anybody that does use it or so, but they're on the TRT stuff, and I think it's is it BPC, the sort of recovery kind of what's the word? The recovery supplements,
Yeah.
as well as creatine and everything else as well. And again, each to their own, whatever works for everyone. But I've never used any form of supplement for my training. I'm very, or everyone that knows me knows that I try and go organic
Yeah.
with anything that I'm doing.
Yeah.
So I always try and, if there's something like when the TRT first came on the scene, I was like, okay, so what's the organic
Mm.
substitute that I can find for it? Hopefully, is it in the yam? Is it in the okra? Like, is it in the sea moss?
Yeah.
Is it
Exactly.
in the
Yeah.
shilajit? Is it in what?
That's the
That's
stuff we
how.
come from, bro. That's the stuff. Yeah.
And this
Same.
is it. And this is what, and so right now, trying to balance finding organic supplements, affording, because it's quite costly as well, organic supplements, maintaining that diet. I've only just gone back to eating uh, meat, so beef and sort of lamb again. So I've been pescatarian since lockdown, and up to a few months ago, I only went back to eating meat, and that just well, in fact, up just before my comp in September, I went back to eating meat again because I did feel the difference in weight. But yeah, short answer to your question is recovery, and balancing with running the other services that I'm doing as well. So training to be pro, you need to really be training at least you should be training at least 2 to 3 times a day. So training, stretching, sauna, recovery. Yeah, that should be, and then having a nutritional deal within the window that I do because I fast, intermittent fast every day as well since lockdown. So
Mm.
that's another sort of challenge that I'm balancing, having enough energy to train the session, high impact sessions, and then recover afterwards, whilst also balancing family, school run after 5 a.m. training, normally doing the school run in the rising with my lady and my daughter. So it's a mix.
So the work ethic is second to none, and I'm glad that you've touched on this. Well, a few points that you touched on here. So you're currently training how many days a week?
Just now that I've relayed it back to you, I'm practically training every day.
No rest,
Um,
no rest, no sort of rest days.
so if every other week, like for instance, today I've not gone to training, but that's because I'm back to back in meetings,
Mm.
and so I've not gone training today. Fridays, this Friday, I most likely won't train. Um, it's my lady's birthday on Thursday, so we're gonna I'll mostly take her out on Friday, and that'll be like not an excuse, but that'll be a good reason not to train.
Mm.
Um, and then Saturdays, given a plan in the morning with the family, if there's nothing else that's a non-negotiable, then I'll sometimes take a Saturday off. But yeah, near enough every other day at least minimum. Mondays non-negotiable, Wednesdays non-negotiable, Fridays, Monday, Wednesday, Friday in the mornings non-negotiable, 5 a.m.s. But when I'm saying training, I'm talking about fitness training,
Yeah, yeah.
and then there's jiu-jitsu as well. So Monday, Wednesday, Fridays non-negotiable. Sundays, Muay Thai of recent has become non-negotiable since the second week in December. And then yeah, every other day sprinkling jiu-jitsu into that as well.
Wow, that's so really. Would you say you're more active now in your 40s than you were in your 30s physically?
No, I think I've actually slowed down. I
You
was
slow down.
training, so yeah, in the previous gym that I was in before this one, because I was predominantly coaching in that gym, I was more actively training there as well as other places as well. Since I left there, it's been 2.5 years, at least 2.5 years now since I left there. I've actually slowed down my training. However, slowing down my training has enabled me to reallocate my focus and energy into developing our like community. We've got a grassroots community organization.
Yep.
So everything's time, everything's there has to be a sacrifice somewhere. With me focusing on my training, even though I've never set out to be a pro athlete in anything. It's not my calling. My calling is more enrichment, engagement, empowerment, helping people. That's what I
Yeah.
love to do most of anything else as well, and learning along the way. Um, for my
So
degree of training or level of training. has enabled me to sort of reallocate that time and also focus more energy on myself. I'm very blessed. Not everybody has the opportunity to do so.
Yeah,
Um, I would say it's even almost a luxury to actually focus on me and developing myself, learning from not just my physical attributes or my physical aspects, but also the that mental, um, emotional, spiritual, like reconnecting with a lot of the um, just a lot of our nature, which I think a lot of us being on plantations, which is what I call work. So being on plantations or being distracted by day-to-day activities, we don't really get the time to commit to doing. So I have a lot of, I'm I'm very grateful that I've allocated the time. I can allocate the time to do that.
excellent. That's excellent. So would you say that your training um it ties into it ties into the whole holistic side of your being really? So it's not
Mm,
just the case of um I do my jiu-jitsu today, I do my CrossFit training or my hybrid training at this time, I do my Muay Thai on a Sunday, right,
mm.
that's done now. So now um that's put to bed. It's something else I'm doing. Do you find that the training ties in to your whole
Absolutely.
being, or is it compartmentalized into just training?
Both.
Both.
And it's funny that I love how you've broken it down, and because you're even forcing me to have an objective overview of it as well. It ties into both and all. One, the thing that I love about my training is I get to train with my family. So CrossFit up until the end of last year when she injured her knee, I was doing the 5 a.m. sessions with my lady.
Okay.
So she was coming in, and she's a normally on the days that ironically, the days that I actually train at 5 a.m., I get by the time I get home for like 5, 7 a.m., I'm taking my lady to work. So I literally come in quickly, wash up, drive her into it, and that's our school run. And that school run is about 45-minute drive, and that's our opportunity to reflect and talk and communicate and say what's working, what's not working, just have our couples conversations.
Yeah.
Um, but until she injured herself towards the end of last year, so she stopped coming. But now my 17-year-old son comes into that space. So I get that as well as him training jujitsu with me. He's also now coming and doing a different kind of training where we push ourselves beyond. Like our training is not easy, and that's
Yeah.
one of the core lessons.
Imagine.
And my lady also says you train like an animal. Like you, she's. I think it was an excuse
Yeah.
for her to get out of it. She was like, your training is just too much for her. She said she's not trying to go pro. She's not trying to kill
Yeah.
herself. She just wants this as a hobby for her, so that kind of thing. Whereas my son, 17, and you've seen Ethan, he's almost as tall as me now, and
He's a unit.
so
I say he's a
he is.
unit.
This is it, and this is it. So I'm with him. I'm balancing the strength and conditioning, balancing his agility, his endurance, as well as we get a lot of that out of jiu-jitsu. The strength part also is transferable into jiu-jitsu as well.
Right.
And so I love that. Again, the CrossFit side, I get to do that, not with just with Ethan, but other brothers I have, like Thomas Scannell, like one of my other brothers, business partners, best mates. And yeah, that I get to connect with a lot of people in the community doing the sort of CrossFit, especially when we do events. We've done AFEX recently, things like, yeah, we've done different competitions as well. The jiu-jitsu training is very similar. Again, the jiu-jitsu community, similar to the gym community, is a massive
Yeah.
community. And so connecting with so many different people along the way, meeting people from different walks of life, from corporate professionals to community guys to you get everything you can think of under the sun, and it strips people back to their bare bones, to the basics. Like once you go on the mats, you don't know what people are career wise, lifestyle wise, until after the session. And when you see people then putting on the suits or
Mm.
like you see people with like their helmets, and I was like, I didn't know you was into trade or like whatever it is.
Yeah.
So it's quite a humbling experience also. Even tonight, for example, my daughter's got MMA training. She's been currently being trained by Chanel Dyer, who is she's literally just been signed to the UFC, and
Wow.
she does
Okay.
private. Yeah, she just privates with my daughter and another one of my
Private. Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
another one of my protege girls as well. I might as well call her one of my other daughters, one of my protege. So that's again me going to see my daughter now at 12 years old and one of my other proteges being coached by somebody at a pro level, and actually being a conscious sideline dad, seeing the different the engagement of girls as well, and they're going through their stuff was like it's beautiful to see. So both my children get to train, my lady training, and then connecting it with like our lifestyles, um, and seeing how the experience of the training that we do transfers into life skills, the transferable skills. So see when I'm talking to when I'm doing my school run with my daughter, for example, and she'll come home telling me about kids that were trying to be like, just be rude or do have bully tactics, and she's
Yeah,
able to regulate her emotions and at 12 years old have conscious conversations and just assess things. And as a 12-year-old, the stuff that we went through in secondary school, college, uni,
yeah,
whatever it was,
yeah,
even till
yeah, yeah.
today, and we're like, oh, I wish I didn't react in that way because that must have shown weakness. They pushed my buttons, and
Mm.
having my 12-year-old daughter or my 17-year-old son come and be able to articulate that at their age is just, and the training be part of that, and knowing that even though, yes, they're capable physically,
Mm.
they're able to articulate themselves. It's almost like a verb, like intellectual.
Yes,
What's the word? They're also intellectually um, uh, capable. So
yeah,
they know how to regulate their emotions. They know
yeah.
that, I've overcome being punched in the face. I've overcome somebody trying to strangle me to death. I've overcome people trying to break my ankle, like arms and
Yeah,
ankles. Like
yeah,
this,
yeah, yeah,
this conversation is nothing. Like,
yeah.
okay, you guys have done that to try and get on my nerves, So yeah, no, that's sorry, long answer to your question, but yeah, I hope that's answered it.
That is great. And again, particularly the fact that we met in our 20s, so to then
Mm,
become a father and then pass
mm,
on that wisdom and a holistic approach to your kids, and then
mm, mm.
seeing it manifest is a
Yeah,
beautiful thing. It's a beautiful
yeah.
thing. So I'm proud of you and your kids.
I,
I don't know Ava as well as your son, but
as Ethan, yeah,
yeah, I'm proud of both of them and you more so.
yeah. But you
Um,
do, but you're saying that though. I have to kudos to yourself as well because I see you with Sammy, bro. And you're doing the exact same thing. As far as I've known you, from every conversation that we've had, Sammy's at the forefront of every. You're a very selfless human being, and for me, it's very refreshing to come across, and be around people like yourself. Because we don't again we've grown up in this born and where we've grown up in this country, we've grown up in this planet, in this world, in this society, and we know the image that we are given even when we're trying to do our best, even when we put ourselves last in a lot of equations. And
mm,
the training that you do, that like I understand. Up until the last time we spoke, I didn't understand the medical conditions that you had, the physical conditions that you had, and you pushed through. There's people that we know who are fully able, that again, no judgment on them, that are lazy, that don't put the work
well,
in, and
it
then
is what it
are
is. Yeah,
and play victim, and you're the opposite to that, bro. So again, you're the role model that you were telling me the other day about Sammy now and the football and some of the stuff that he's interested in, and
yeah,
the determination and the commitment. And those are learned, I believe, especially our boys, their first heroes are their dads. Whether we choose to accept that or not, their
that's
first
yeah.
heroes are their dads,
There's something to that, I believe. There is
and
something to that.
they role model of if you were lacking, my honest opinion would be Sammy will be lacking.
Mm.
Sammy's not lacking, and he's picking up strengths from yourself as well. So I salute that, bro. I salute that. I admire that. That inspires me. That again, same as when we were gymming, when it was just gym back in FX.
Yeah, yeah,
Even though it was to us, it was just gym, but we were already excelling at that stage.
yeah.
And then now look at you, look at the awards in the background, bro.
Yeah, it does. It's funny to see because it set. I believe in many ways that set the fact the days in effects before social
Bro,
media, you
bro,
know, that's how we loved it because
this is
it
it.
wasn't for gratification. There wasn't any.
This is it. But
If
look at,
someone didn't see
but
what you did in the gym, that would be it.
bro, and that then this is. But look, even just to put everything in perspective, and this is how I look at it. how many people did we train with in FX Gym? And that we know, some that are still with us, some that aren't with us today, some
Yeah,
that
true.
are,
Yeah, yeah,
and everybody's, again, life takes over for everybody. Everyone's got different circumstances and a different creates different opportunities. How many others in FX Gym do you know went on to look at the awards that you've got in the back? How many people went on to pursue, to take it beyond? Do you know what? This is my escape. This is my therapy. This is my, this is my feel better. Because for training, for a lot of us, training is our therapy.
absolutely, bro.
Um, you know,
Absolutely.
but you've taken that to your the same way you're describing me doing it with jiu-jitsu to a pro level, or to a high level, because compared to the pros, I'm actually an amateur compared to the actual jiu-jitsu pros. That's my reality as well.
Yeah, same here.
Um, but not how many people from FX alone in isolation took it to that level,
No, that's true.
you
That
know?
is true. So because I know you've got to run as well. What are do you have any plans? In fact, yeah, you could briefly share some of the things you're doing in the community um, through your jujitsu. That'd be nice as well. So it's not just a case of you training to be the best jujitsu player that there is, but it's also helping, like you said, with your kids, um, and empower young people in the community. So what kind of things have you got coming up or currently doing? If you wouldn't mind sharing some of that briefly.
I'm happy to share. Happy to share. So I could tell you things that we have. I could just tell you things that we do, that we have, and that we actually do have coming up. Things that we have done. One of my favorite programs is our father and son jiu-jitsu program. So last year we were had the blessing to be have receive an investment from another community organization, and we ran a 12-month program called Father and Son Jiu-Jitsu, Grapple Warriors Father and Son Jiu-Jitsu. And the idea that I had came from the coaching that I've done over the years, where a lot of the dads or a lot of the parents don't really get the opportunity to one, spend time with their children, and they either stood on the side watching them train, watching the development, and then taking to the comps or taking them to do the school run. So you don't really get the time to bond with the children. And I've been a mentor, like in different schools and different organizations in my time as well. So I came up with the brainchild of doing a program where the dads and the sons can actually train on the same mats together. So for
Hmm.
12 months, we took the dads and the sons. We took up at least up to just under 40 fathers and sons from entry level jiu-jitsu to their first two interclub. Well, one was an interclub competition, and then one was an actual official competition called Grappling Industries.
Hmm.
So even if they've had none, even majority of them had no jiu-jitsu experience whatsoever. And we trained, yeah, 12 months, twice a week, free of charge for the dad, because that was another factor that a lot of parents face, paying for your children's school fees and then gym fee and everything else that comes along with it, and then the mortgage or rent and all that. So using that funding, we're able to pay for their training kits, pay for the venue, basically make the service available for them. And at the end of it, we had, I think, just under 15 of them actually go and compete um,
Wow.
in the comp, which was amazing. And again, part of the service was part of it was training jiu-jitsu, the other part of it was mentoring.
Hmm.
Uh, and just having a balance of building a relationship. We did workshops around communication, workshops around consent, just different things to build relationships between some of the conversations that we found challenging as dads to have. So that was one program that we done that was a massive success. We also do our Triple M, our martial arts motivation and mindset youth camps, which are over either spring, summer, or winter. And then we have our and then we have our yes, so those are the summer camps. And within those summer camps, again, we have experts coming in over the for the summer period. Example, for example, over the 4 weeks, we have Barclays Bank came in to do financial literacy with the children. So 20 children a day on these camps for the summer. Barclays Bank come in to do financial literacy. We have Amapiano dancers coming in to teach. We have a different martial art every day of the week. So we do from Tai Chi to Wing Chun to Capoeira to Jiu Jitsu, wrestling,
That's
Judo,
fantastic.
MMA.
That
So
is, yeah.
so the children get to experience. And on the same day, in the mornings, we'll do a martial art. In the afternoon, we'll do an activity. So the activity could be chess. Like I said, we have financial literacy. We will have poetry or writing. So we'll get them to write about their emotions and then turn it into a song. So we have content creation because that's a big thing right now. So the pros and cons of content creation. What else do we have? Smoothie making, baking, teaching them how to we do nutrition as well. So teaching them how to actually prepare a meal, plant like all different types of meals. And yeah, other activities during the camp as well. So that's our Triple M camp. We have Talk to a Brother, which is a safe space for men. We have a WhatsApp group with just shy of 200 men in it. We need to add you back to it as well. Just shy of 200 men.
Excellent.
And
200
within
men.
that, just shy of it. Yeah, well, now it's actually 200 men. I think this week we just went over 200 again. And in that WhatsApp community, in that WhatsApp community, we have 6 breakout groups. One called Man Cave, which is like general chinwag conversations, whatever's current affairs. Trump's doing something silly, so people go in there and just talk about, give their perspective. It's inclusive and multicultural, so
Mhm.
and it's very respectful. As you've seen before,
Yeah.
we have a fitness group where people can go and share their fitness stories. We have our cycling group, so there's avid cyclists in there, brand new cyclists. They'll connect, go cycling. Father and son jiu-jitsu group, uh, business networking group. So if you whatever business or trade you do, you could go in there and people help each other out, share stuff. How can I fix my sink? Does anybody know a local vet? Whatever it is, it's
Yeah.
in there. And we just recently launched in 1st of February our new accountability group, where it literally is what it says in the tin. We don't do New Year's resolutions or scrap the New Year's resolutions. And this group every single day, if you've committed to doing 2 training sessions, X amount of meals, whatever it is, we hold you account reading, but whatever books or how many chapters of a book you've read, we
Yeah.
literally go in there and we're keeping each other accountable for the next 6 months. And then that's going to transform into another pilot service we'll launch in the next 6 months.
Excellent.
Those are the
Excellent.
ones that I'm going to mention of now. Those are the services. And there's other outreach coaching that we do as well. Like we do mentoring, we do our personal MOT service. So we get calls that people from our organizations will reach out to myself and Thomas, and we'll do like half an hour, 45-minute, just touch base calls about how they're getting on. People will ask us stuff about our relationships, with our partners, with our children, training, and literally just, yeah, be there, be a voice of reason, I guess.
Excellent. That's excellent. Um, in closing,
Mm.
what advice would I mean, this question could go on all day, but in
Mm.
brief, what advice would you give to the younger generation um in terms of fitness, um longevity? What kind of advice would you give for someone who is, say, in their 20s,
Mm.
who wants to continue our age and beyond, and in terms of like the main pillars of longevity that you've come across?
Do you know what? I'm going to add to what you've said. I'm going to actually tell the 20-year-old version of me.
Right.
What would I tell the 20-year-old version of me? Um, be fearless. Be fearless. A lot of society, a lot of things in society, including, and I not, and I say this with love, including a lot of our parents who maybe limited their own talents and abilities because they had different priorities at the time.
Hmm.
Our parents, their generation was to come into a new country, maybe learn the language, fit in.
Hmm.
So when they, I don't, a lot of our parents maybe didn't get to explore the greatness, the real true greatness. A lot of them maybe, what's the word? Um, Not submitted. A lot of them,
Not suppress. I
not
know what you
yeah,
mean.
not even to suppress. I think a lot of our parents, a lot of even our generation, um, they made themselves small. They reduced themselves
Yeah.
so they wouldn't be intimidating. They
Yeah.
didn't really like the things that we're doing now, bro. You're again the comps were we are doing what's naturally in our DNA. Does
Yeah.
that, if that makes sense?
Yeah. 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 Absolutely.
Um, and that came from somewhere, you know? So if I'm looking at my 20-year-old self, I'll be like, there's a lot of things that I almost did suppress. There's a lot of times when there's even running, I remember doing relays and I would slow down in the relay because I didn't want to be ahead of I didn't want to be ahead of the popular kid. The popular
Yeah.
kid was sort of slacking behind. And I was like, oh, if I slow down and let him win, maybe he would let me into the certain, there's certain things that I did, to that. I think
Yeah.
back now, I was like, wow, now the popular kid's like, he's just anybody,
Mm.
So looking at my 20-year-old self, I'd be like, don't be fearless. And that's what a lot of the youth that I'm, especially in the jiu-jitsu world that I'm in, I see a lot of the youth just excelling, like, you know. But I'll say also do what you're doing with self-love.
Right.
Learn your core values,
Right.
integrity, discipline, respect. Um, really, really learn to love yourself, especially before you even think about trying to love anybody else. Really, really learn. And if you don't know how to, um, respectfully try and see if your parents know how to. If your parents don't know how to love themselves, try and do the research the same way you would research to try and find a PS5 game or to try and whatever it is, whatever it is you're trying to do, whatever your passion is, use allocate that same or even a fraction of that same energy to try and really learn about yourself so you value yourself. There's going to be distractions everywhere. One of the one of the definite things in life. People say taxes are that. No, I say it's actually going to be distractions and things to take you away from your greatness and your power. Because not everybody has the ability to do what we can do. Not everybody has that. And unfortunately, the reality is I do believe there's a lot of um, just energies out there that are designed. It's part of the game of life. There's energies out there to make it look easier if you don't follow your
Yeah.
purpose or your passion. you know? So your passion's going to be difficult. It's going to be challenging. It's going to require sacrifice. It's going to require pain and suffering. It's going to require discomfort. Get comfortable getting uncomfortable.
And on that note, brother, God bless you. And it's a pleasure having you on here. Some good gems and words of wisdom that I can take away, let alone others. Absolute pleasure. And we'll catch up
Blessings,
soon.
bro.
All right?
Blessings, bro.
Us.
Thanks, bro. Us.
Take it easy.